These settings are perfect for cruising, racing and drifting. Ahoy there and welcome to another wheel settings video. This wheel settings video is for the Crew Motorfest using the Logitech G920. I did a video for the Logitech G923 and in that video I covered just about every single wheel with those settings. Those settings should work with every single wheel. But people have asked me to do a specific video for the Logitech G920, and here it is. This is the G920 on Xbox Series X. However, before I start, if you go into Device Manager, a lot of people keep asking me as well for the different key bindings. If you go into Device Manager, however you want to say it, come on Steve, you can select Wheel and Accessories, and this will give you the key bindings for everything. General, ground vehicles, airplane, boat, third person, interface, and photo and video mode. This is phenomenal. You can bind whatever button you want to make this as easy for you as possible. This is great. This is really good. So all your look forward, look back, look left, right, all this, the basic, the nitrous. If you are struggling to find out what each button on your wheel does, this is the place to come to. It's epic. If only every single game would do this and allow us to keybind for each situation, it would be great. So, going into controls, this is where you need to head to set up your force feedback and everything for your wheel. So head into controls. For the main controls, gearbox, I'm gonna switch that to sequential. I'm using the wheel, can use the paddles, sequential. Then you can go into all this and do whatever you want for this. This is set to you. This is personal. This is where you come to tweak the game to however you want it. For the wheel controls, once again, as I said in the previous video, the Logitech G923 video that I did, these settings I've worked on for a few hours. They work great with the wheel. Now, some of you may struggle with the force feedback set to 80. It is a bit strong. I like it that way. I like to feel where the car is going. Now, for those of you who don't like it feeling so strong and you wish you could set it lower, the lowest I've found to go to is 45. Any lower than that and it's just not as responsive as it should be. 45 is like the sweet spot for the lowest setting. Please don't go any lower. If you go any lower than that, then it's just not going to feel so good. But me, I have it set at 80. It's just great. I just like it at 80. Get your words out, Steve. Damper, I have that set at 75. Now with this you can go as low as 60 before it starts to feel rubbish. But 75 for me is the best. Vibration, you may want to turn this down lower if you don't want to feel every bump, every curb, etc. The lowest you can go really on this one is 40. Any lower than that and it is once again it's rubbish. Gearbox sequential, you're using the paddles. You can shift to 8 shifter if you have the 8 shifter. I've not got it set up. I do have it, but it's on my G923. I don't have it set up for the G920, but you can switch to 8 shifter if you're using that, or 8 shifter and manual with clutch. Just remember that your 8 shifter only has 6 gears, and some of the cars in this game have 8. So it's all. I just think the better option is the sequential shifter. That way, then, if you have got the shifter, there's a neat little trick to bind gear 4 to the e-brake using an elastic band, and there's a way of setting it up. It's in one of my previous videos. If you want me to do a video just on using your 8 shifter for an e-brake, let me know in the comments down below. Dynamic range, I've got that set on. Now for steering, I've got that set at default. Throttle, I've got that set at default. Brake, we all know the G920 brake, it's got issues. It's really stiff in a lot of games. It just doesn't respond really well, and you really have to hammer it down to get it to fill the grid. Now with this, when it comes to the linearity, this is where you need to set it to your own strength when you're pushing the pedal down. For me, I can easily get to 100. Look, so where the actual top, where you see it, and it's about there. Where you see the line hit the top of the rectangle for the linearity, you need to be hitting 100%. So it needs to be going there as good as you can get it. And then if I increase the linearity, you'll see I'm filling it up with less pressure that I'm pressing on with my foot. To be honest, the best linearity for this is 55, because there's one other thing that we can do. The dead zone, I'm a left foot braker, and I sometimes rest my foot on the brake, so I set the dead zone to 10. I rest my foot on the brake and the clutch. I'm really bad for it. I'm heavy footed, so I have to set the dead zone so my foot doesn't interfere with the brake and the clutch. So I have the dead zone set at 10 for that. You guys might be alright if you don't rest your foot on the brake, so keep the dead zone at 0. But for me, I have that set at 10. Now, this is the issue with the brake. If you cannot press the brake all the way down, or you struggle to, this is where you bring it down till it feels perfect for you. So if I bring it all the way down to 15, I just have to lightly tap the brake, and it's 100% braking. You'll be braking really quick, and your wheels are going to lock up if you go stupid with the 0. I'm just lightly tapping the brake there. You need to bring it up to where you're comfortable pressing the brake and it's good for you. Now, if you've modded your G920, there are ways of modding the brake pedal. You can look that up on YouTube. If you modded it, then I recommend going like 80, 85. For me, I've got this one set at 75. I can hit that 100%, and it feels right for me. Keep going down in steps of 2 until it feels right for you. Don't go any lower, because some people just like that. Oh yeah, and that feels right, and then you get into the game and it doesn't feel right. So your best bet is just go down. So mine, like I say, is at 75. If you don't like 75, you're still having to hammer it down. Go down 70, see if that feels all right for you. Whoa, I'm moving my whole desk. 65, just go down in one step at a time until it feels right for you. Clutch, I've got that set at default. They've already set the dead zone to 20 in the default settings, so they know some people rest their foot on the clutch. I'll rest mine on the clutch like that, and you can already see I'm giving input resting it, and it's not good. Highest for that, I've got that one at 100. For drifting though, if you are going to use the clutch when drifting, for clutch kicking, things like that, bring it down to 65. It'll make the clutch kicking a lot more responsive, and it's just so much better for drifting when you knock it down to 65. And that is it. Those are my wheel settings for the Logitech G920 on Xbox Series X. These settings will work for the Logitech G29 on PlayStation as well. If you want to see settings for the Logitech G923, I've got another video for that on my channel. But like I said, those are the settings there for the Logitech G920 I've worked on them for some time. They do work. They're good for cruising, they're good for racing, and they're good for drifting. Just remember, when it comes to drifting, that you have to set up your cars in the pro settings for each car for the car to drift well. Your wheel settings aren't going to make your car drift how you want it to. You have to play around with the pro settings for each car to get them to drift the way you want them to. If you want me to do a drift settings video for your pro settings for your cars, let me know. I've figured drifting out. I have figured it out, and I can drift, as you saw at the start of this video, with ease using the wheel and the controller. It's so easy now to drift in this game. I just had to get my head around the pro settings, and I've done it, and it is just so easy to drift in this game. Even with the wheel, I hate drifting with the wheel. I don't know what it is, I just hate drifting with the wheel, but I've nailed it. I can do it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with some gameplay of me just driving around in the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with the settings. It makes the game so good. The wheel settings for this game are amazing. Honestly, to come from the Crew 2 to Crew Motorfest, you can tell they've spent some time. The developers have spent time with the wheel, and the game just plays amazing now with the wheel. It's so much fun. I really enjoy it. I'm liking the game a lot. I really am. It's a good game. It really, really is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you all in the next Crew Motorfest or Logitech G920 video. Stay safe. Play awesome.